I'm hoping that it'll have the same effect as a stomach stapler. Good afternoon, South Africa, and a very warm welcome to you. It's Tuesday and my favorite day of the week for one reason only. It is time for the Afternoon Express Cook Along, and joining me in the kitchen today, along with our resident chef, Clem Pedro, is the wonderful Alice Toich. You have had just the most amazing journey so far.
The most incredible time, I can't tell you.
Oh, amazing. I've been following it on Instagram and it looks phenomenal, but we're going to be hearing more about that a little bit later. And of course, we are combining savory and sweet today in a very Italian way. So you've been running around the world in Italy.
Italy mostly.
A cooking course, hey?
No, I'm actually there. I'm painting and drawing at an atelier. Very classical training. And while I'm there, I'm just living through my stomach, eating everything that comes my way. And
phenomenal.
It's incredible.
So you're going to come, I mean, this is the first time, Clem and I were actually joking, the first time that you're in the loft that we aren't baking. But I'm going to be doing a little bit of baking with you. But we're going full Italian. So is this a fabulous dish that you've picked up on your travels recently?
This is a dish I actually recently learned in Italy. It seems very simple on the surface, but the flavors are all delicious. With most Italian cooking, the ingredients are simple but of high quality, and they just sing. So pasta, how can you go wrong? Pasta, cheese, I mean, sage.
Amazing. Clem, what do we need to get ready before we start?
Okay, so we're going to start off by making the pasta. So what you're going to need first are your eggs and your flour. So I'm not going to talk too much about the flour because I'm going to leave that to you. There's some special ingredients going on here today. And get your rolling pin. If you really are committed to this recipe, get your rolling pin out, you can hand roll it. Otherwise, we've got a rolling pasta machine right here.
Just
and obviously a pot of boiling water.
Yeah. It's like that Italian mama in the kitchen with her rolling pin, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. And of course, if you would love to follow the journey with us while we create this amazing dish, all you need to do is SMS the keyword EAT to 33650, and then we're going to send you a text with all that you need to know, the shopping list and the recipe, so that you can cook along with us today. And of course, we're going to be taking all of your calls. All you need to do is call us on 021 430 9881, especially if you've got any questions or comments for our fantastic chefs or our guest. And of course, we are streaming on YouTube. Everything's online. You can't afford to miss the show. So head over to YouTube and you can watch us live as well. Now, if you head over to our Twitter page at Afternoon Chat and vote in our poll, today we are asking, like pear and pecorino, which sweet and savory combo tickles your taste buds the most? Yours? Sweet, savory?
I just love that combo. It's just, it's delicious.
I love it.
You know what is actually my favorite? Watermelon and feta.
Okay.
That and the mint with that summer salad, that is so good.
Delicious.
I must say, I love smoky barbecue and like honey or maple syrup. Yeah.
Goodness, now you got me thinking about ribs. Speaking about ribs, our special cook-along guest started her career as a model, but her popularity skyrocketed when she won the MTV-based VJ search. She went on to host the music show Club 808 and now The Entertainment with Somizi. And in 2015, she made her way into the hip-hop scene where she featured on the DJ Speedster track Don't Have It.
Skangthwara rafu namahloni futhi ubongibheka kahle ngiphume egoli hey ngikalungang fosti soti danger khafari ingozi you think it's all sweet yin awboni I'm on these Josie streets for the profits and these cozy female wolf of Wall Street I'm locked in deep go to war with me sweetie talk is cheap just give it
Muesli, welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
No, we are so excited to have you here. I mean, you are just a little firecracker. Can we discuss, though, that the reason why you are such a little firecracker is because you're from the East Rand?
I mean, that's the number one ingredient in the recipe. People don't know you have to be born in the East Rand.
You have to be born in the East Rand. Yeah. There's something in the water, I'm convinced, because there's Princess Charlene.
Yes.
Charlize Theron. Muesli.
Yeah, I'm trying to do something for the M's. You know, the Charles have been taking over, so I'm trying to bring the M's in.
Oh, not Jack Parrow. Timo ODV is from the East Rand.
I didn't know that.
And me?
Really? Girl, you are lying.
I swear. East
Guys,
side.
move to Benoni, please.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, I'm not from Benoni, but I'm from the East Rand.
Where are you from, the East Rand?
Bedford View.
Yolani.
No, but that's gangster's paradise.
Yes, it is. All the real OGs live in Bedford View.
Yeah. So what was it like growing up in Benoni? Because you aren't just like from Benoni. At one point you were Miss Benoni.
2010.
Yeah.
And I'm the eternal Miss Benoni. There have been some really epic Miss Benonis after me. My favorite being Chandy Wong, who's also like one of my best friends. Yeah. But I'm the eternal Miss Benoni. I will be buried with my sash. It's a very, very serious thing to me. But I mean, growing up in Benoni was really great. It's a small town, so I always say I never had friends. I only had brothers and sisters. We were all very, very close. And we were kind of like just trying to break through. I remember like we were that small town, but we were into cool stuff, but everybody was just like, you guys are from Benoni, like you're not cool at all. Yeah. So we were trying to break through. We had a lot of our own dance competitions and like young up and coming performers and rappers would go and perform there. And that's actually where I got my starts in emceeing and hosting. So it was really, really great.
I mean, you were 16 years old. Everybody else was jolling and going to movies and you were working.
Yeah, I mean, I was working. It was something that I was really interested in. Like I grew up watching so much Kidio and Yo TV that I just always wanted to be on TV. I never really saw myself as an adult in this industry, but from a young age, I knew that it's something that I really, really wanted to pursue. And I kind of figured out that it won't just happen directly. You have to like do it in other ways and learn other things along the way. So I did modeling, I did hosting and emceeing, and that really kind of sharpened up my skills for the television industry.
But I totally respect your grind because you really wanted it. And I think nothing shows that as evidently as you went for every single audition, you went for every presenter search, every competition, and then only then you won. Like, what kept you going?
I think that was my school. You know, I was studying at varsity college, but I was just like, it's not really working out for me. I remember like being in a restaurant in Monte Casino, planning my 21st birthday with my dad, and just like, okay, cue the water walks. We're going to cry now. We're going to tell him we're not going to school. He was like, relax, it's fine. If that's not you, it's not you. Do what makes you happy. Yeah. But for me, like going to auditions was my school. And every single audition, whether I made it through to the next round or not, I was learning something. Yeah. And I was picking up people along the way. You build a network of people because there's some auditions that you don't hear about, but somebody else from the line might. So you grow a network of people and you learn so much. You learn so much about yourself and about the industry too. Yeah. And it was just like the ultimate university of life.
Sure. And I mean, you did so well with TV presenting, working with Nomuzi. I mean,
Dream
that guy
come true.
Is amazing.
Dream
that must be such a great energy.
Do you know, like, Nomuzi is one of those people, and there's so many people in the South African industry where you can see God is doing incredible things in their lives. So Nomuzi is just one of those people. And since he's joined the show, it just went from like here to there. I've never seen people in the cafeteria like, stop. So Nomuzi's in the building. Like, everybody stop. Let's go check him out in the makeup room and stuff. He's such a superstar, but he's so down to earth and he's so real and he's lived. I'm young and I'm like, I need to have all my stuff in order. I need to figure everything out. And he's always just like, girl, live.
Yeah,
like everything else will fall into place. Make sure you just live in this moment and enjoy it. Do your best and everything else will come together.
Well, that's really, really good advice.
Yeah, it is.
So then when did you decide that, I've got this TV presenting thing down, but actually I'm going to explore rapping?
So I was doing a whole lot of parties and events and emceeing, and I was coming up with DJ Speedster and DJ Capital at the time. So there were these epic hip-hop DJs, and I was just that girl on the mic. I was like twerking before Miley Cyrus made twerking a thing.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, you could look fantastic. You look so fantastic.
Having so much fun on stage, and it just got to the point where all the big hip-hop promoters and hip-hop events always knew to come to me when they needed a host for a party because I was so into the music and into the lifestyle and I knew all the musicians. And
so you were like the hype girl.
I was that girl. I was that girl. And in 2014, after the SA hip-hop scene just blew up, Cash Time Live obviously was established, and they really wanted to take their label to the next level. And they knew that they needed a strong female presence.
Because there was difficult as a girl.
Yeah, there was no hip-hop female. Like, it didn't exist. There was Gigi Lemaine and Nadia Nakai, and I was actually having this conversation with GQ earlier that they were underground, the underground. Like, people who are underground were more famous than them simply because they were girls. But I don't think it was because they were girls. They really hadn't, like, properly found their voice. As you can see now, they are killing it. We're all killing it. There's so many females in the game that are doing truly incredible things. So, Cash Time Life approached me and they were like, do you want to do this? I was like, yeah, let's do it. And now I've got my own record label. I'm about to put out my own project and it's going amazing.
And you know, I always think that your growth is always indicative of really clever management. But your management...
It's the best. I've got really, I'm still trying to get my cows, okay? Make this part good.
Okay, so you're dating your manager.
Yes.
It's quite, listen, you started off quite private about it, but look, it's public now. We all know
The
about
thing is, like, you know, you don't want to put too much of your private life out there because you just give people the right to ask you about it.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't want him to, like, ever walk into a meeting and just be like, here's Nomuzi's boyfriend. We're not going to take him seriously.
Yeah,
you know, so,
true.
And he's a really, really great manager. He's worked with so many people. When I first met him, he was working with AKA. And he kind of helped AKA come up with this whole super mega mentality that he has right now. So I really, really trust him. And he's like one of the voices in the game that almost every single hip-hop artist has been influenced by either a word that he said or an idea that he's given them.
That's amazing that you respect that in him, though. As well. That's so important in a relationship.
He is super unlocked. He might actually be the reason why we all say unlocked. He is that epic. Like, and he's also just started his own agency called SBR Projects, and myself and Uncle Party Time are assigned to him, and he's incredible. Shout out to Spudo Rock.
Amazing. And I mean, you are so, like, your image always just seems like it's so well tuned. Because firstly, you've got the sexiest little body, but I love how you dress and style yourself, because you can go from, like, Jennifer Lopez, sexy little outfit. I mean, I love that you wore that to the Durban July,
yes.
I think. And then you can go super hip hop.
Yeah.
You can, you know.
I mean, this was something that I did with
a
designer called Don Design, the Santon Epid hoodie. And for me, it's just like, I'm growing up and I'm doing so many different things. I'm in so many different places. And I'm so many different people. And I don't want to only be one person. I have a lot of fun with fashion and with style. And for me, like everybody always says on Twitter and Instagram and everything, mood is so important. Who are you trying to be? What are you trying to say to people? And for me, like when I walk into the room, whether you know me or not, you're going to say, who's that lady?
Yeah.
Why is she wearing a fur coat in 30 degrees? What's going on with her? And I just love it. I just love to experiment and have fun. My two biggest fashion influences are Rihanna and Brenda Fassie. Yeah. And I try to bring those out a lot.
Let's talk about that Brenda Fassie thing, because you did say that you are the modern Brenda Fassie, and a lot of people were like, girl.
Yeah, I'm kind of quizzes, the new age mapizas. And I think for a lot of people, they were basically thinking that I'm saying, I am Brenda Fassie. Yeah. And now I'm like, yes, I am Brenda Fassie. Why can I not be Brenda Fassie? Why can I not aspire to that level of greatness? She was a female artist that was so iconic, and she really didn't care about what people had to say. And when I was coming into the hip-hop scene, it was still very fresh for females to be like that confident. And I was rolling around with the squad of the coolest and biggest rappers. Yeah. And sometimes it would get so intimidating, and I'd just be like, I don't think I have a place here. Yeah. And then I would just be like, what would Brenda Fassie do? And that was just like kind of where I would draw my inspiration from. And I love her swag, I love her style. I hope one day I can be as iconic and as mega and as epic as she was. Yeah. So it's not a disrespect thing. I think a lot of people just think I was like disrespecting her and the work that she's done. Absolutely not. For me, it's an inspirational thing. It's an aspirational thing. And I just love her. And I got a lot of
well, listen, I think as a woman and as a woman in this industry, I think there's going to become very little place for insecurity and self-doubt. I think confidence and believing in yourself is important. So we're going to see you in a little while in the kitchen. We're going to test her cooking skills. But when we return, I'm going to be baking it up in the kitchen with Alice Twitch.
Clover fresh milk is way better. Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express, and good timing too, because you're just in time for tea. Now, is there a more classic combination out there than milk and cookies? Everyone has at least one memory that they can recall of dunking freshly baked cookies in a glass of ice-cold fresh milk. And today, foodie Alice Teut will be showing us her version of this classic combination with a recipe for clover milk and edible cookie cups. Delicious. And if you would like to make this recipe, SMS the keyword clover to 33650. Okay, cookie cups. I mean, how decadent.
Isn't it genius? I just love it. I love having friends over and at the end of a dinner party, having some little thing where you show them, I went the extra mile and this is something fun. If you have nephews, nieces, if you have children yourself, make cookie cups with them. I mean,
definitely.
You drink it. They always say, you know, disposable cups aren't very eco-friendly. That's not going anywhere. That's going in my belly. So.
Well, I've got 9 godchildren, so you're going to have to teach me how to make this.
Let's get cracking. It's a very simple recipe, this.
Yeah.
I've decided on 2 flavors today. I thought what goes better with a fresh glass of clover milk, other than the taste of coffee and cardamom.
Ooh,
and so
love.
we're going to add a bit of instant coffee and cardamom into that. I'm going to get you to start whisking up 1 egg with some caster sugar.
Okay. I'm glad you're doing this for me because I'm sure you know being in the kitchen isn't really my thing.
You always impress me though, Jean. You have a way to just say, I don't know, and then ding, and then you've done it. So into that I'm adding
because I like things to be done properly. That's but I know what my challenges are.
There we go. We're going to add half a teaspoon of cardamom powder. And if you are making these for kids and they don't really like, I personally loved the coffee flavored things as a kid. But if you don't, substitute the coffee for vanilla essence and a handful of chocolate chips. So
can you make? I was thinking about that. Can you put chocolate chips in these cookie cups?
You certainly can.
It won't become too porous. Hey?
I think that the whole trick with these cookie cups is that they're engineered to not last long. So you're almost forced to eat them very quickly. I mean, if you're going to force me to eat cookies quickly, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, no problem there.
What I'm doing here,
here's my mixture.
Is perfect. I'm just going to quickly rub these cubes of butter into the flour here, and until they kind of start to resemble coarse breadcrumbs. So if you've ever made a sweet pastry, a pâté sucré, it's kind of the same thing. And we don't need much equipment here. This is just our 2 hands.
Yeah.
You can get kiddies getting involved here, squishing it all together. And,
well, your hands are the best utensils in the kitchen, I think. Like, I'm convinced whenever you eat anything with your hands, it tastes better.
It definitely does. It tastes 10 times better.
Yeah.
So once this starts to look like cookie crumbs, we can just kind of throw that in there. And then you'll take a flat-bladed knife.
Throw that in there.
Pour it on in.
Great.
It's very difficult to kind of go wrong with the cookie recipe. I think that's why it's also one of the first things as children we start to make and help out with in the kitchen. We're going to use a flat-bladed knife, and you can just start to do a cutting action just like that.
Okay, this I've never seen now.
And what that does, you're kind of simulating a slow rotation in a, I guess, a food processor, which would slowly cut it up, and you still want that cookie to be nice and crunchy and crispy. If you work it too much, unlike later on, we want a bit of a knead in the pasta dough. It gets too glutinous, and we don't want that. We want the crunch.
Oh wow! So you want this chunky look?
Yes. Well, at some point it's all going to come together. You just kind of carry on doing that.
So
you can go a bit faster, and you're doing. As I said, you always impress me.
Thank you.
And if you're getting a bit impatient at any point, you can just get right in there with your hand. Yeah. My hands are all
I've got
messed
very
up.
little patience. Okay, no, but this is working. I can see what you're doing. And it's all kind of, getting together there.
This is a great trick to also do if you're making any kind of pastry dough that you would want to be short. So scone dough, you're not meant to knead it very much, just the back of a flat-bladed knife and you're good to go.
Perfect.
And what we're going to end up with is something like this dough. If you're getting a little impatient at any point, you can just kind of get in there, bring it all together, bring it to one.
But this is what it turns out.
That's what we end up with.
Ta-da, the magic of television. We've already got it. Okay.
And with that, we just like to, lightly flour a surface here. So we can throw some of that flour in the
We do that for you.
There we go. Just make sure you're working. Oh, make a wish. I always say make a wish, fairy dust, the baker's fairy dust.
I love that.
We're going to get this on here. And you can kind of chill it, but the magic of this cookie dough is that you don't actually have to chill it for very much. You just have to make sure that when you start to roll it, cute this is. This rolling pin has a little stem.
Oh, sweet.
It's horrible. You want it to be quite thick, and if it does crumble, that's okay. You just kind of patch it together and keep going. At one point, you are going to start to see it's going to get crumbly, and keep it quite thick, about 6 mils, because they still have to form a cup.
Yeah.
And you can do this part, Jeannie. You grab the cookie cutter there, dust it in a bit of flour, and take a nice big cookie cut out of that.
Okay, got one.
Beautiful. That is perfect. And what we're going to do, it's very simple, and it's a bit of a trick of this. You take the upside down of a muffin pan or a mini cake pan, and you have to spray it a lot or rub it with some butter or some oil spray, and then just pop it on, and don't... Ooh, it's actually good that you did that, because now I can tell the viewers at home.
Don't break it.
You were doing so well. So at home what we would do is we'll just kind of cut a disc out, and we just leave it, place it delicately on top, and in the oven I wasn't over.
Okay. Yeah. So you just put it on top and it will melt over in the oven.
That's the thing, so we'll pop it in for 10 minutes. There we go.
I thought I was in one of your art classes.
But you see this at Picasso. Beautiful.
So is this what happens?
This is what we end up with. We pop it in a hot oven for about 10 minutes, and
it naturally cups.
Naturally, the butter starts to melt. It just cups. It makes a little fizz. It hardens, and when it comes out, you can top it up for your guests right after if you're serving it with.
Should we try it?
Let's do it.
Can I pour you one?
Please, I would love some. And the trick
this is going to be so cute.
Is to use some nice fresh milk, like fresh clover milk. It stays in the fridge, so you can use it in the recipe and after. And you're getting in all your calcium.
This is so cute.
The trick is to have a quick sip. And if that happens, just put it all in your mouth.
Oh, yeah, because it's going to soften that. But that was delicious.
You can also line the inside with some chocolate if you want.
If you want to know how to make these delicious, delicious little cookie cups, all you need to do is have a look at this recap. I want another bite.
Clover fresh milk is way better. Made with love by Clover.
This was really delicious. I guess that's how the cookie crumbles. Now the cook-along starts after the break, so get your pots and pans ready and stay right there. Want some more cooking?
Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. If you've just joined us, fabulous timing because we are about to get cooking in the kitchen with some sensational guests. We, of course, have our resident chef, Clem Pedro, then the delicious Alice Teutsch, who's returned from a fantastic trip and is going to teach us everything Italian. And then, of course, the fabulous Muesli. Now, well, I didn't ask you, how are your kitchen skills?
You know what?
Because I was looking at your nails and they don't look like they've done a dish in their lives.
Cooking and dishes are two different things. I'm going to be honest. Growing up, my sister and my mom and my dad were like kitchen, like competitive in there.
Yeah.
And I was just watching TV. I think that's why I ended up on TV. My sister's actually a qualified chef and my mom and dad still do all the cooking. So if you want your kids to cook and not be on TV, make sure they stay in the kitchen.
No, you know, that's so funny because all the women in my household and in my family were always in the kitchen, always cooking, always baking, always. And I remember the one day my aunt took the broom and she was sweeping and she swept me out. And she was like, there's enough time in your life for this, darling. Get out of here. Go play with the boys. And I was like, and I took that literally. It was too much fun. Okay, so you and I are probably going to be just as bad in the kitchen then.
We'll work it out though.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being good and 10 being terrible.
We're solid 8.
Oh, okay, great.
I'm a solid 8.
I said 10 being terrible.
You two the cooking. We'll teach you the cooking.
There we go, exactly.
Okay.
So we started off with this beautiful dough, and the second I saw this recipe, I was obsessed, and we had to get Alison to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to straight up to you. You can actually start and guide us all the way. Let's start this pasta dough. Cool.
It's so simple, guys. We're starting off with what you'd call a soft and a hard flour. Now, my favorite thing about currently living in Italy is that you have this incredible flour choice. Wherever you go, there's just an aisle, and you've got Doppio Zero for your pizzas, and you've got everything you need for your light patisserie stuff and your semolinas. So what we're doing here is 1 part of what would be a durum wheat flour. If you can't find it in South Africa, we'd use single zero, which is just a grain, a coarseness or thinness.
Cool.
If you can't find that, just use normal brown flour and 2 parts of normal light flour. And into that, we're going to mix in 2 eggs. It's really that simple. Whenever anyone thinks, you know, pasta difficult, I'd rather just go out to do it. It's a fun activity to do with people that you love. And Jeannie, here's where you can get your mixing skills involved again. You can just
what
go
do you
around.
want with that?
Perfect.
Okay.
You can just start to kind of incorporate the 2 flours and the eggs.
Yeah.
And it's
Even
really
the
that
figure
simple.
8, you are showing off.
No, I know. No, but can I tell you, because you're a rapper, I'm very aware. I'm almost going to translate the cooking that's going on here. We're just going to make hard dough.
Okay, girl.
In her language, hard dough is just making a lot of money. That's how rappers talk.
You think it's all right? Okay.
I don't know if I'm
Very
doing it,
skillful people in here. So obviously the dough, you start kneading, it comes together, you turn it out, you start actually like working it. So you've actually got a dough that's been kneaded and rested already. Right there.
Thank goodness.
So you would basically, bring it together and give it a light kneading on a floured surface, and then it's very important to let this dough rest for about an hour, and that just allows it to kind of all come together and be ready to start getting
Absolutely.
rolled out.
You want to dip it in this pan over here and get a little bit of flour on before you put it through, or you got some flour there. Perfect.
Amazing.
Just like that. So we've taken, we were going to give you a rolling pin and let you do it by hand and roll out the dough. We were like, no, we love Alice a
That's
lot.
for the nonnas.
So we gave you an actual
have time
machine
to
to help you
kill.
with this.
Do they make it everything by hand in Italy though?
They make so much by hand.
Super impressive.
It is. It's funny because, you know, artisanal things nowadays and like single coffee roasteries, this all came back into fashion, but that never left Italy. It was never a trend. They just thought you have to do everything by hand. It's always just going to be this way. You know your grocer, you know where you get your wine from, the Anatecas. It's an incredible food culture and they don't even realize it.
Yeah.
I remember, while I'm going to start doing this, Jeannie, you can maybe click on this, and we started the
What do you want
pasta
it on?
machine.
One?
On one. So we've clicked our pasta machine to you want to start with the largest numeral setting. So that's an 8. And that means that as you feed this through, 8 is the thickest it can be.
Okay.
This is where it starts to get really fun because you suddenly
I
feel
love this.
very Italian.
Yeah.
I was actually having a conversation with someone who you would kind of, on the surface, think this guy's just into soccer. And the amazing thing about Italians, I'm going to fold that over once and start feeding it through again.
Okay.
Actually, I'll go this side. The amazing thing about Italians is everyone's just taught to speak about food. I was actually playing soccer with a bunch of guys and like a few girls, and I was chatting to them, and you know, I looked at them and I thought, these are sports guys. And they suddenly said, what's your favorite thing to eat in Italy? I'm going to fold over one more time. And I thought, I've loved the artichokes since I got here. They just have such flavor.
Yeah.
And as they were kind of talking to me, they just switched and went, which artichokes? Beginning of the season, end of season, globe, Jerusalem, do you like the purple ones? And I'm sitting there,
sexy.
yeah, chatting with what would be the equivalent of like a real rugby guy, and thinking they just are taught to have such amazing taste,
Love that. That is so, so cool. You know what else is really cool? Every Friday on Afternoon Express, it's Win a Home, SA's premier interior design reality competition, proudly brought to you by Private Property. Now, if you vote for your favorite design duo, you stand a chance of winning the grand prize. Ladies, you want to know what this grand prize is? It is a home at the Eye of Africa Golf and Residential Estate with finishes by Plascon and Caesarstone and premier appliances by Grundig to the total value of 3 million rand. And you are also automatically entered in to win incredible prizes in the bi-weekly giveaway. Now, the latest prize up for grabs is a Sealy Queen mattress and base set valued at 14,999 rand. So get your entries in now. And that's cool.
This is your chance to win the home you've always dreamed of. SA's favorite interior design reality competition, Win a Home, sees 3 design duos transform empty spaces into lavish homes. And one of them could be yours. To enter, visit privateproperty.co.za and vote for your favorite design duo. Put yourself in line to win amazing prizes in the bi-weekly draw and automatically be entered for a chance to win the grand prize, your choice of one of 3 fully designed homes in the Eye of Africa Golf and Residential Estate in the south of Joburg. The finished property will include luxurious finishes by Plascon and Caesarstone, as well as premier home appliances by Grundig with a total prize value of more than 3 million rand. Competition details plus T's and C's can be found on the Private Property website. Watch the breathtaking properties come to life as the design drama unfolds and stand a chance to win the biggest prize on South African television, your very own dream home.
Wanted to know before I leave, can I get myself involved in that competition?
I think you actually are allowed to.
I better be able to enter.
You win the prize and you win a 3 million rand house. Amazing, hey?
First music video will be shot in there, for sure.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, the fantastic Muesli teaches me what it takes to be a good rapper. And of course, we get finishing our Italian pasta in the kitchen. Welcome back to Afternoon Express, and of course it's Tuesday, which means that it's our fabulous celebrity cook-along, and we've got the lovely Alice Teutsch in the loft, and of course the sensational Muesli. Right, now one thing that I love wrapping more than presents is wrapping pasta parcels. But this is one that I've never done before. So you've
I've never
rolled
even
out
made
your
pasta before, so you are schooling me right now.
So guys, look closely. It's so easy and it's so fun. Half of the fun of pasta is that you get to have all these fun names just for a change in shape. And I think, Clem, you're going to teach everyone at home how we're going to do the filling.
Absolutely, yeah. Which is you inspired me so much with, like, it's crazy. But if you could just show us a couple of the rounds, so I'm gonna let you start, and then I'll take over with the filling.
So this is what you would call, if you have something round, do a little dollop of filling, and you can use a tiny ice cream scoop to get like level spoons, or just use 2 teaspoons. Grab a bit of filling, pop it in the middle, and if you just turn it over and seal it up. You can just imagine there's a little bit of filling in there. Seal it up with a fork and make sure that you wet the edge and keep it...
So, well, let me pass some over to Clem. Okay, that was...
And then we're going to start on that filling. So this filling that you came up with is quite interesting because you're combining fruit and cheese. Obviously, cheese plat, you're going to have some fruit in there, but as a filling for pasta, I'm like really excited to see that. So where did the inspiration for this come from?
Well, basically seasonality. The best thing about being in Italy with incredible produce is that everything is based on what's available. All these strange and beautiful combinations come and you go, oh, why do they have citrus in the south in pasta? And it's, well, because they have it available there. So,
that's so true.
Pears were in season, and they were paired, quite literally, with a delicious creamy pecorino cheese, which is obviously a sheep's milk cheese. That will be ready.
That's crazy. So look at you going at it. I gave you the big knife. Always, and you're doing so well. So we're just going to cube this really finely, and the pear is raw, and we're keeping the skin on, a little bit of texture.
Yeah.
So the pear is actually going to cook slightly in the little tortellini as it's cooking in the water.
This is so fascinating because usually I can try and imagine what it's going to taste like, and here I can't.
It is. Well, actually, you know what? We're going to keep on doing this.
Here you go.
I'm going to pass you I've got some filling that I've made already.
Awesome.
I kind of cheated.
Perfect.
But we're going to keep on making more because we need more. So, Jeannie, that's for you.
Thank
you. There you go.
Are we allowed to
And you've
so
just,
good?
you've just added in some fresh ricotta.
You're a rapper, you can do whatever you want to do. Okay. Okay, so what am I going to do?
Let's get going,
Put a
Jeannie.
little
We're just
bit.
going to put about a teaspoon. You can pop it in the middle. There we go, perfect.
And then I roll it over.
Roll it over.
And then seal it.
That's it. And you have to kind of make sure that you don't have any air pockets in. Just sealing the edges. You can dip your finger in a bit of water, seal all those edges up, and make sure that because it's going to pop into the boiling water, you don't want it opening and all the filling going everywhere.
So what do I do with this? Do I put it in there?
Yes. We'll kind of let it rest on a floured surface. And you can also play around with trying a bit of ravioli. And I got this little guy, brought him all the way from Italy. And I'd like to do 3 at a time. Anything else gets too much. You fold over the pasta.
Yeah.
As is.
So this is
seal it
pear
up.
and feta.
Pear, pecorino, and a little bit of ricotta.
Ricotta.
Wow.
Yeah.
And ricotta is just the most delicious cheese. It's something I didn't have much of a taste for before I left. And then you realize why, and it's so fresh, and they call it ricotta fresca, and it's barely even in the fridge, and it's in your pasta, and it's on figs, and it's in your scrambled eggs. So, Jeannie, you can kind of roll this if you'd like to.
That's a lot of pressure because I've just had a look at what happened to my little one, and it's quite neat.
Well, it's very simple at home. You just make sure that you've got all the air pockets out.
Yeah.
Stop showing.
There's a little bit of air. Stop it.
I'm showing off my knife skills right now.
Okay. Then there. And then just wheel it.
Yes, and then just cut it right through.
Those are so beautiful.
Aren't they cute?
Look at those.
We maybe should have put a little bit more flour, but that's okay. They'll just stick and we'll yank them off. Okay. Beautiful.
And now...
It's okay. The first few are always a flop, and then you get into like pancakes.
Can I tell you what my favorite Italian dish is to make? Reservations. This is difficult. There you go.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to continue rolling those.
Amazing.
Look at all this. Is amazing. So I'm going to keep on chopping up some more
You've got amazing
pecorino.
knife skills.
More pecorino for our filling. We're going to keep on making some more. And we're actually going to drop those in the pot and start cooking them because I heard there's a beautiful butter sauce. Anytime you say butter, I'm there. So
okay, so am I going to throw these in the ones that we've got so far?
There we go.
Okay.
Absolutely, go for it.
Boiling pot open. Alice, you're going to help me. I'm going to throw these in.
So you need a bit of like an abundant amount of salt in there to make sure that they are
Plop,
plop, plop, plop.
Ooh, yummy.
How's that coming?
Koi.
Ideally, you might want them a slightly bit more dried out on the edges, but we're going to pop these all in together now.
Okay, amazing. We're going to take a quick break. Remember that all you need to do, if you want any questions or comments for any of our fantastic guests, all you need to do is give us a call on 021 430 9881 4309881, and then of course we'll answer any of your culinary questions, or if you've got any questions for the fantastic muesli. We're going to be right back after this. Welcome back to Afternoon Express, and of course it's a fantastic Tuesday cook-along with Chef Clem Pedro, the lovely Alice Torch, and of course the very fabulous muesli. Now, the one thing that I love most about pasta is always a really good sauce. So our pasta pockets are in here boiling. What are we going to mix it with? What's going with?
So we've got this beautiful sauce, and the second I saw the amount of butter, I was hooked. I couldn't wait to learn all about it. So Alice, I'm going to ask you, what goes into the sauce that we're making?
Literally 3 ingredients and one little secret ingredient. It's butter, it's your sage, a dash of a bit of parmesan, shaved parmesan at the end, and the extra secret to this whole dish that ties it together is something not to let your sage leaves burn while you're melting the butter. What we're going to do right now, we can pop that butter in.
Okay.
You know what, the same way that Clem looks at butter, I'm looking at muesli's little waist.
I'm going to let you do this. You go for it. All the butter, right? All the butter.
All the butter. We want all the butter.
I don't know much about cooking, but my sister, who is a chef, tells me that butter is the secret
Yes.
to every good meal.
To a good life.
To a good, happy life. And this is the secret ingredient. It's very bland, you would think, but water. What this allows the butter to do, a tiny bit of water in that butter. What that allows, you would never think it was Italian, but the sage is allowed then to infuse with the butter before burning. So if you don't add the water, it kind of bubbles and the sage burns and you're throwing it out and you barely get time for it to really have that flavor. So as soon as that's melted, we're going to pop in those gorgeous sage leaves.
I'm going to turn up the heat because you can handle it. There we go.
Are you kidding? Okay, then how do we know when this is done?
They would take about 3 to 4 minutes kind of flash boiling in a nice hot pot. So I think we'd give those another 30 seconds and we're good.
Okay, and then what? So sage goes in there and then?
And then as soon as that is kind of infused, we can take the sage leaves out or leave them if you like them for a bit of garnish.
Yeah.
We're going to throw, that just becomes this beautiful, simple, like buttery broth. We're going to just pour it on top of our gorgeous pasta. And then this is an option. You can add, if you'd like, some chopped up parma ham. We have bresaola here today.
It looks really good.
But it's also just a fantastic...
I think we should do that.
Let's do it. I'm going to chop
Let's
some
just
up.
be extra. That's my thing at the moment. Just, if you can go extra, go extra. All right,
we're
can I take
bubbling away
these
in the
out?
pan.
There we go.
Those look amazing, Jeannie. Jeannie, like this was the actual quantity for the recipe.
Yeah.
But I know you, so I've got like
Love
got a little
it.
extra pecorino there. So once our butter's bubbling away and we're infusing the flavor into our sauce, when do we actually add the pasta? Or is it just the sauce we drizzle over?
We just pour it on over.
Oh, great.
Yes, it's so simple. And that's the thing. It just tastes delicious.
Yeah.
People are going to go, what did you do? How did... And you're just going to go, you don't know how simple it is once you get going.
It's butter and water.
And
Unbelievable.
The water evaporates, so really it's butter.
That is amazing. But you know what? When you're working with good produce, it can be so simple and it'll taste so good. Okay, are you ready to pour?
Yeah, I'm going to get a nice fancy bowl. I feel like this dish needs a golden bowl. Let's put it in the golden bowl.
Yes.
Let's just do that.
I love golden bowls.
Perfect. You can pass it to me, Jeannie. We can actually dress this
There you
guy.
go. Go for it.
There we go. We'll put the Brazil on at the end.
Are we leaving this in here, right?
Yeah, we'll
doing
do
the
that.
voice. That's what we said.
That's exactly what we wanted to... Oh, beautiful. Just divine.
And it smells good
Perfect.
too.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
our
wow,
dish.
that's delicious.
Oh, my word.
These are one of the dishes I see at another table, and I'm like, where did you see that on the menu?
Food envy.
That's so
Muesli,
bad.
would you like to drizzle on or just scatter on some beautiful brezola?
Oh,
That's it,
amazing.
guys.
Oh, that is fantastic. Thank you so much. That looks absolutely amazing. Now, every Friday on Afternoon Express, it's Winner Home, SA's premier interior design reality competition, proudly brought to you by Private Property. And if you vote for your favorite design duo, you stand a chance of winning the grand prize, a home at the Eye of Africa Golf and Residential Estate, with finishes by Plascon and Caesarstone, and premier appliances by Grundig, to the total value of 3 million rand. Now, you are also automatically entered into win incredible prizes in the bi-weekly giveaway. The latest prize up for grabs is a Sealy Queen mattress and base set, just so that you can sleep gorgeously in your new home, valued at 14,999 rand. So get your entries in now.
This is your chance to win the home you've always dreamed of. SA's favorite interior design reality competition, Winner Home, sees 3 design duos transform empty spaces into lavish homes, and one of them could be yours. To enter, visit privateproperty.co.za and vote for your favorite design duo. Put yourself in line to win amazing prizes in the bi-weekly draw and automatically be entered for a chance to win the grand prize, your choice of one of 3 fully designed homes in the Eye of Africa Golf and Residential Estate in the south of Joburg. The finished property will include luxurious finishes by Plascon and Caesarstone, as well as premier home appliances by Grundig, with a total prize value of more than 3 million rand. Competition details plus T's and C's can be found on the Private Property website. Watch the breathtaking properties come to life as the design drama unfolds and stand a chance to win the biggest prize on South African television, your very own dream home.
Well, now you know the recipe for winning a home, and of course you've got the recipe for making a delicious pasta. Now I'm going to show you a completely different recipe by the fantastic Muesli.
Thank you.
I see you hating on me, watch me flex. I know you're mad, get it off your chest. Hell, my purchase stole the game, call the cops on me. Hell, not
One,
come and
two,
get this recipe.
three, turn it up one time.
I see you hating, watch me flex. Yeah, I know you mad, get it off your chest.
I know you mad.
Hell, my purchase stole the game, call the cops on me. Hell, not eating, come and get this recipe. Come and get this recipe. Come and get this recipe. Try yourself out before coming for the queen. Just back up off me. Need to back up off of me. Y'all ain't even on my level. I'm a winner. Klondike medals flyer than a bird. Man, put respect on my name. Lifestyle that you niggas chasing, that's my 9 to 5. Man, I stay focused, my work up, and I see you getting all worked up. Cause I spit brain on some puff fatter. Stay floating, swim bladder. Let's be honest, I'm a problem. You were hoping you could solve it, but you can't. Cause it's too late. The queen is popping, she shots hopping, laughing to the back. What the hell y'all thought this was? Unlike you, Muesli, don't need the buzz. She got the heart and the stomach and the guts, so give it up. I've had enough. Can't you see that the game is mine? Go hating, watch me flex. I know you're mad, get it off
Yo,
your
it's
chest.
obviously 3 if you're out there right now. I need you to let the whole neighborhood know that Muesli's on your TV. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
I see you hating.
I see you hating.
I crush on me. You know that you hate it when he watch me on TV. Can't wait to see me and get his hands on my CD. He wanna eat me in the morning, call that Muesli. But I'm the M-O-O-Z-L-I-E. That is the spells out, you lames can't touch me. I'm done trying to figure out why you're so angry. The only green y'all got is jealousy. You hating cause you lazy. Me, I do this on the daily. That's how my mama raised me. I'm blessed, man, nothing shady. And I know you wanna be me. And you think you can do it because I make it look easy. I'm the queen of my castle, got no time for no one. I'm the coolest on the scene. With the sun that's black, you can't see. You hating, watch me flex. I know you mad, get it off your chest. Say, young my Brutus stole the game, call the cops on me. Yeah, y'all not eating, come and get this recipe. Hey, I see you hating on me, watch me flex. Yeah, I know you mad, get it off your chest. Say, young my Brutus stole the game, call the cops on me. Yeah, y'all not eating, come and get this recipe. Hey, I'm eating, watch me flex. Yeah, they call me Muesli. Watch me flex. And I'm on Afternoon Express with Jenny D. Hey, hey, and you got this all for free? Hey, we got the recipe.
Yeah! Woo! Come join me over here, my darling. That was amazing. Have a seat. Okay, now firstly, I did watch you flex. Like, your body is ridiculous.
Thank you.
Amazing.
And I don't often get food after I perform.
There you go. You did, and it's delicious. Now, tell me, rapping, I mean, you make it look so easy, but it's not a difficult thing. I know that when it first came out, somebody said that you had a ghostwriter because your stuff was so good, but actually it was just you doing your thing.
Yeah, man, I do my thing, and I think because I was coming up under so many incredible rappers, they thought they must be writing their stuff for them. But every single female rapper in history has gone through it, from MC Lyte to Queen Latifah to Nicki Minaj. Even people think Offset wrote Cardi B songs. Yeah. So, I mean, it happens, but I got the recipe, so.
Well, you really do. You are absolutely magic. We're so happy to have had you here.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Alice, for coming to bring us a little piece of Italy. Now, I want you guys to taste and let me know how it is. Okay? Because I can't wait to taste it. It looks absolutely delicious.
It's better than reservations.
Oh,
So good.
that's delicious. The simplest recipe, and it's absolutely delicious. I hope you at home cooked it as well. And we thoroughly enjoyed having you with us. And of course, remember, every Tuesday on Afternoon Express, you can cook along with us. Thank you so much to our amazing guests. Thank you so much for coming. We love having you. Whenever you want to come back,
I'm dropping
you
music
have an
soon.
honorary
It's called
seat here.
Versus. It's going to be out really soon. I'll promise I'm going to bring it straight to you.
Yay! And thank you so much, Alice. Thank you so much, Clem. And thank you at home for joining us. We hope you had a fantastic day. We'll be back again tomorrow, same time, same place on SABC3. Good night and happy eating. Mwah!
Search for a home on any device, anytime, anywhere. Private Property, a home for everyone.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.